Hello, everybody, and welcome into this edition of 360 Sports. I'm your host, Ryan Chuba, joined by my good friends Owen Dashko, Justina Ricchini, and Chase Brosen. Today, we have a very special Frenzy episode for you all, starting off with the Olympics that just concluded. With the Olympics concluding this past week, the men's hockey gold medal game wrapping up as well. With so many amazing moments throughout the contest. Which one stuck out to you guys the most?
I mean, what stuck out is Jack Hughes, the golden goal, obviously, as well as Megan Keller getting the golden goal. So I think both players should be represented. And I think the way that Jack Hughes did it was impressive. He had a down tournament. He had a penalty early in that game to force a 5-on-3 for Team Canada. And I think it just shows that this team never quit. Connor Hellebuyck was outstanding. This team overall just had so many different key factors. Vincent Trocheck was one of them, and JT Miller. They got a lot of flack because they didn't score goals. They were on this team. They did the penalty kill really well. And I think this team overall just did a really good job of showing, what it is to be American. They showed it so much in this tournament. And then shout out Tessa Janicki on the women's team. They were absolutely outstanding. They dominated from start to finish every single game except the final. So you got to give hats off to them.
Yeah, I'd say without a doubt, the U.S. men's team winning gold was probably the most special moment in this entire Olympics, especially considering they did it on the 46th anniversary of Miracle on Ice in 1980. So that was really cool to see. And yeah, Jack Hughes just had an amazing goal at the end, and it was just it was storybook ending.
Yeah, and then Mike Eruzione, the one guy on that 1980 team, was like so adamant for them to win this tournament. Like he was just pressuring the Tkachuk brothers the entire time. Like, you guys are going to win this. You're going to do it. And, they stuck by it. They got a lot of – Bill Guerin and Mike Sullivan got a lot of flack.
Yeah, when you talk about the MVP of this U.S. men's team, it had to be Connor Hellebuyck. Mm-hmm. He received the Presidential Medal of Freedom after the win and the gold medal victory, and he's the first hockey player ever to do it. Yeah. So a great honor from him, and he was exceptional. I mean, that paddle save in the gold medal match, that was a legacy-defining moment for him.
Legacy save.
Because he's known as the playoff choker in goal, and now he's an Olympic champion.
And he also got the the defense seal from the Department of Defense when he was on the airplane going back. So, I mean, this team came home with some hardware. And there's a lot of flack, too, from, the Canadian, media just because they won. And you know what I mean? And they were doing all this other stuff after it. And it's just a lot of these players on Team USA play in Canada. Hellebuyck plays in Winnipeg. Brady Tkachuk plays in Ottawa. That is going to be a talked about subject for a while now.
I also want to mention Alyssa Liu on the figure skating sport. She won 2 golds, and as a Bay Area native, she represented well for that city. And then obviously on the other side in the men's figure skating, Ilya Melinin, he fell twice in his final round, which bumped him down to 8th place, and he was the favorite to win gold. So that was an unfortunate turn of events for him, but it's the Olympics. It's the biggest stage in the world for those figure skaters.
Yeah. And then we also should probably talk about Lindsey Vonn, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's brutal. You come back, you had the ACL injury, and to even ski on it is one thing, but to fall the way she did is just heartbreaking.
I was that's so tough, and I give her credit for trying to fight through it and doing what she did, but I just held my breath watching her, and sure enough, she had an awful accident.
That's just something you don't want to happen.
I mean, it was just rough. It was a very unfortunate, but props to her for trying to fight through it.
Yeah.
Hopefully, she's
I know. Hopefully she's gonna be okay. But also shout out the GOAT Mike Tirico. I mean, from the Super Bowl to Italy in 2 days, and to just do that entire thing,
insane.
What a GOAT.
Yeah, insane.
Any other
I don't know.
Big Olympic
to
moments?
Me, there wasn't. I don't know enough ball to talk to you about curling or all these other sports.
Curling was
there
awesome.
was controversy with the Canadians.
I didn't see too much about that. Do you know more about
that? I don't, but they were arguing with another nation, and it was back and forth, and they were kind of saying, "Nah, we weren't doing a tap over the line."
Yeah, that's right. The big controversy where people were touching the stone across the line.
Yeah.
Oh,
there was some controversy over that. Moving on to the next topic, we just talked about hockey. The NHL returned yesterday after the Olympic break, and with just over 20 games left to play, what teams are in a good spot for the Cup playoffs?
I mean, right now, there's 3 teams that come to mind for me: the Tampa Bay Lightning, the Minnesota Wild, and the Vegas Golden Knights. The reason why is right now Vegas sits at the top of the Pacific Division, and there's no real threat in that division. The Kings lost last night to them, and there's really no real perceivable threat in that division. And the Minnesota Wild are hot right now. They're in 3rd in the Central Division, but they have Quinn Hughes, they have Brock Faber, they have a lot of the Olympic stars coming back fully healthy now at this point to kind of rejuvenate the group for a stretch run. And Vincent Trocheck, Rangers player who I mentioned earlier, is in the running to go to that team because he's a bottom 6 forward on a bad team in the Rangers who could help them out in the long run. And then the Lightning, Vasilevsky's insane. Like, you just got, like, he is insane. That team is so good. Gensel playing well. Kucherov's one of the best players in the NHL. Like, you can't stop the Tampa Bay Lightning right now. They had a bad start to the season, and right now they're one of the best teams in the league.
Yeah, I agree with those points. And I also want to highlight 2 other teams. The Carolina Hurricanes. They've held the top spot in the Metro for over 70 days.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, they're a very consistent team. Another team I want to highlight is the Pittsburgh Penguins, a team that came into the year trying to rebuild, but they're kind of in the mix a little bit.
Yeah, we are in the mix.
Yeah, so I'd say it's a bit of a surprise. I mean, Sidney Crosby is going to come back from that lower body injury, and depending on how well he is coming back from rehab, we'll see how far he can take this team.
Yeah, my goat Crosby going down. Unfortunate. That just broke my heart when he got that injury.
Yeah, I want to also mention the Montreal Canadiens. They have their leader, Nick Suzuki, coming off the Olympics, winning the silver. But also you have players that may have seen themselves as snubs in the Olympics, like Cole Caulfield or Lane Hudson, who maybe are motivated to build on momentum that they've had all season long, as their 2026 season has been exceptional in the Eastern Conference.
It should motivate them. It already motivates the Russians that they weren't invited to the party. Like, I mean, all those guys, when they asked them about the Olympics, Ovechkin's like, didn't watch. Malkin, no comment. Like, all these guys were so angry they couldn't go. Like that, they are one of the best teams in the world, and they couldn't compete. So a lot of those guys, I mean, when you're slighted by an organization or something, a lot of people add fuel to that. Even if you're like not having your best season, a lot of players just add fuel to the fire with that. Jackson Smith is a good example at Penn State. Like, he got cut from the World Juniors team for Canada, and he's been on fire ever since. Like, a lot of these guys take a lot of pride in their play, and when they get cut from a team or something doesn't go their way, they take it to the next level.
Yeah. Let's switch over to college hoops now, the segment I'm most excited for. The first previews of the NCAA tournament bracket came out this week with Duke, Michigan, Arizona, and Iowa State as the top 4 seeds. What do you see changing, or what predictions do you have before the tournament begins?
I mean, right now, like a team that I've circled for a little while, it's not UConn right here, although I know Peyton Waddell has them circled right now on his books, but I'm circling the Illinois Fighting Illini. They're a good team right now. They have 2 7-footers, Chase, at center. They're the brothers, the Avicic brothers, are outstanding. And they also have a good mix in their forward group, or in guard group. Kylan Boswell just came back from injury. Keaton Wagler's been outstanding for them. They have such good depth, and even though Brad Underwood is a choker in March, they have a team that could really surge. And I also just want to say Cincinnati has a good chance right now. They're right around 500, but they beat a lot of good teams right now. Yeah. They could go on a run like NC State did a few years back and go into that, upper echelon. Remember, NC State was around the middle of the pack with DJ Burns and that crew, and they went viral and they went all the way. They almost won it all. They were so outstanding. I mean, a lot of these teams just come out of nowhere in March, and that's why I can't wait for conference tournament play to start.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to switch conferences a little bit. Florida, I think they're a really good team. I know they started off a little bit They started off a bit shaky this year after losing some premier players like Walter Clayton Jr. But this year, the second half of the season, just been a whole different tone. I want to highlight Thomas Hall, Alex Condon, and then Ruben Chinelu. They're the best defensive team in the country. They're averaging the most rebounds and the lowest amount of points in the SEC. I think this is a team that could jump up to a 3 or 2 seed. And then another team I wanted to highlight is Vanderbilt. They're kind of going in the opposite direction. They started off really hot, but they haven't been able to beat top teams like Tennessee and whatnot. So I'm not really high on them. I think they're just going to keep falling and probably end up with like a 7 seed. And yeah, I don't see them getting past the first round.
Yeah. Also, the SEC is like really weak right
Yeah.
now. I mean, there's just not a lot of like super strong teams. Like Florida was a 1 seed last year. A lot of these like super strong teams from the past just aren't there. Like Arkansas, I think is the best team in that conference right now.
Florida's above them by like 2 games.
Yeah, like they're the best team, Arkansas, in that conference, in my opinion. But I like anything could change in March.
Yeah, my thing about Illinois, I watched Illinois play Penn State basketball over I guess it was winter break, and they had a really good team, but I don't know. I think they have good depth, but I mean they lost that game to UCLA, and I don't know. I don't know if they got what it takes to go far in this tournament. So I don't know. I just got something inside of me saying that, and I'm not pulling for them.
Yeah, I think with the Fighting Illini, they're good offensively. They're very consistent offensively, but their defense is not too great, and there's questions about it going into March. And they have clear offensive firepower with those guard duo with that forward depth, but I'm not looking at really any specific team right now. I just want to make it a point of emphasis that these college rankings are more of the big three in Michigan, Duke, and Arizona. I think they are clearly the best teams in the nation right now, and there's a drop off with that 4th 1 seed, and that's still up in the air, whether that be Purdue, UConn, or any other team, Iowa State in the mix right now too.
Yeah, speaking of UConn, I just wanted to highlight they beat St. John's by 32 points.
Yeah, that was
night.
crazy. I was going to turn on the game.
St. John's missed their last 24 field goal attempts.
Yeah.
Attempts.
Their
They
offense-
couldn't score.
This year, the offense is like
Something about Patino right now at St. John's doesn't feel right. Like
Yeah.
I thought they'd be a sneaky team going into the tournament, but right now, after a performance like that and the way they're struggling right now, like the Big East is weak enough. I don't know how strong they're going to be. Like UConn's good, but like the rest of it.
Yeah, they were on their best win streak in like 41 years, St. John's was. And now that game just ended it. And
It just ruins the vibes.
Yeah.
Ruins the vibes.
And I say always watch out for Tom Izzo in March. Michigan
Yeah.
State. I think they're ranked like third.
There's like 16, something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, Izzo in March goes on a run. He
Yeah,
hasn't
I mean,
won in a while, but he can go on a run.
Yeah, watch out for them. And I think Ohio State I saw was going to be the first out of the tournament.
first
Yeah, they had a bad
Yeah.
game last night against Iowa. So
But as
Yeah, they
you
lost
said
Iowa.
earlier, the conference tournaments are obviously going to shake things up
yeah.
a little bit.
That'll be-
with teams getting in who shouldn't be in. And
we should mention Miami of Ohio with that
Yeah.
because
Oh, yeah.
the conference tournament will likely determine their season, unfortunately, because they are undefeated right now. I don't think they get an auto bid because of how weak their conference is. They got to win
Really?
the conference. As of now, that's what they're projected as. They could sneak in. They could, because remember Wichita State like a decade ago got similar treatment. Like they were a really good team, but they were in a better conference. So I don't know how that kind of factors
yeah,
in.
and it's not just them in that conference. Akron is
Akron's
a great
really
team
good.
too.
Right behind them, only 3
Yeah.
losses.
All right, let's move on. Let's head over to the board and take a look at some of the lower seeds who might make some noise in this year's tournament. We got Chase up first.
Bruce, I'm ready to drop some ball knowledge.
Yeah.
See what you've got.
All right, so I'm going to go with the Missouri Tigers for my pick. I don't think they're going to be the best team out of the SEC, nor I think they're going to win the championship. However, I think they're a really solid team. They're sitting at 19-9 right now. They're probably going to be the 10th or 11th seed. But I have them beating every single 7th seed that's in the bracket as of now. They already have wins over teams like Tennessee and Florida and Vanderbilt. They have what it takes to be top-tier teams, and I could really see them making some noise.
I mean, I agree with this. I think Missouri has a really good chance. The SEC is in the middle of the pack right now, like I said. So,
Yeah, I agree.
how can we really determine how good this conference is until we get to March? There's a lot of teams that are mystery teams.
I'm noticing your Arkansas red on today, though.
It's not Arkansas, sure, but there is red on. I mean,
Crimson.
yeah, I mean, Arkansas is a good team though too. I mean, Missouri did well in the tournament last year, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. They might have won a game. I think they were pretty decent last year. So they made the tournament the last few years. So I mean, I like the pick.
I mean, the thing with them is it separates them from a lot of other SEC teams because they don't have a true number one. They don't have a Darius Acuff or someone of that nature. It's just kind of more of a team effort. They like to share the ball. They have 3 players that are averaging over 13 points, I believe. So, yeah, they're just a really fundamentally sound team.
All right, Justina.
All right, I'm up.
All right.
Nobody really liked my pick when I did it earlier, so especially you right here. You were not a fan of this, but my pick for March Madness, a sleeper team, is going to be the Belmont Bruins. Now, I'm sure a lot of you don't know much about the Belmont Bruins. Right now, they have 7 players that are averaging over 8 points, or 8 players, averaging over 7 points a game right now. They're outstanding offensively. They have a lot of really good depth on this team and really good length. They have their guard, Tyler Lundblade, 6'6". He's the starting guard for them, averaging 15.2 points per game. He's been absolutely outstanding. They've been such a good team this year, 26-4 on the season. And, right now, there's a lot of sleeper teams in March that a lot of people don't know much about. The last time Belmont was in the NCAA tournament, they won a game in 2018 in the first round. So this is a team from the Missouri Valley Conference that has experience when they were there of winning in March. They have a lot of good players. Their smallest player starting, I believe, is 6'2". They don't have a 7-footer, but that should not scare you because right now this team is super good offensively. Something else I forgot to mention, 4 of their 7 starting players that come out of the rotation shoot 40% or better from three-point land. So if you want a team to root for in March that is going to surprise some people, look no further.
Yeah, I mean, good guard play and good three-point shooting is huge in March. Obviously, I've got one question. You said, in 2018, they were there and they won a game and they had some experience. How many of those players from 2018 are on the team?
They're not on the team. But what I meant by that is they have, as an overall
culture,
university, as a culture, they have those guys. Maybe those guys are in practices. You know what I mean?
Maybe they're cheering them on.
Yeah, they're cheering them on.
Yeah.
They're coming over to
Assistant
practice.
coaches.
Yeah, they're assistant coaches. But
Where's Amir Khan nowadays, too?
he's at NC State.
No, he's at McNeese.
Is
He
he
was back at
still
McNeese.
Oh, he's back at McNeese?
Yeah,
I thought he went to NC State.
There was a new video.
Yeah, I don't know.
Really?
He's
Yeah.
a mystery,
Yeah.
man. I
I'm
don't know
not
if he's
sure.
going to be in the tournament.
Hey, a lot of the teams that go on runs are teams you've never heard of.
Yeah, I
So, like Miami of Ohio is a good team, but do we really expect them to go on like a deep run?
Yeah, Belmont, they dominated the Missouri Valley Conference.
Yeah.
Like, Murray State's the second team in that conference,
Yeah.
and both games were absolute blowouts.
Yeah.
All right, Owen, your turn.
My pick will be the UCF Knights. I mean, in the Big 12, they've surprised a lot of people. They had a 12-1 start, and they've upset a lot of teams. Now, they are extremely hot, but they're also extremely cold. And when it comes to March, that can be a death penalty in early rounds. And with guys like Themis Folks leading the way, being that pure playmaker, when that offense is at its peak, they can beat any team in the country, and they showed that with the Big 12 opponents that they've beaten in BYU on Tuesday and other teams like that. I mean, they have a lot of star power, and their guard depth is great too. 4 of them had 38+% from deep, and that's a big part of March, and spacing is what wins games in March Madness.
Yeah, I mean, I like to say for this is that UCF, iron sharpens iron in good conferences, and the Big 12 is loaded right now. I think that really helps them out because remember, the SEC was the winner last year, and they were the best conference. Right now, either the Big 10 or Big 12 up for debate right now is the best conference. And I think, when you play good teams every single night, you beat BYU at 11 o'clock at night on the road. Like this, these are good wins for a team like this. And I mean, like you said, if they can get hot conference tournament time and carry that right now into March, they'll be good.
Yeah, going off what you said though about them being hot and cold, it is kind of a concern because, as you know, March Madness it's a 1-game elimination.
Yeah,
exactly. It's not a 7-game series.
Yeah.
You don't have a bounce back game, so they just have to be consistent. If they can kind of steer the highs and lows and just be a consistent team, I think they'll be fine.
Yeah.
But they can't have off nights, especially against teams like the teams that they're playing right now in the Big 12.
Yeah, either you shoot really well in those games and you get lucky, or you don't rely on 3-point shooting.
I mean, sometimes you need a little bit of luck.
You need a little bit of luck, but you
Yeah.
can't rely on 3-point shooting in
Yeah.
March all the time.
Yeah, they've stepped up against teams that were led by star players. I mean, Peterson's been out like the entire year, basically not playing like every other game, and they beat Kansas-led Darren Peterson-led Kansas team, and then they also beat a Texas Tech team with JT Toppin healthy. Now he's out, and we'll see how they fare in the tournament, but UCF is dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, if they can have that impressive of a record in a conference like that, they're obviously a good team.
Yeah, they're a good team.
All right,
Ryan, let's
my
go.
turn.
Owen was giving you flack before the show on this one.
So I went with a little bit less of like a sleeper and more of a realistic pick. As much as I respect the other guys' picks, I think that Arkansas has a huge chance of winning the tournament. Last year, I was the biggest St. John's enthusiast as they were a 2 seed. And I was disappointed when Arkansas beat them in the second round. But it made me respect Arkansas for who they are. John Calipari is a fantastic head coach. I think this Arkansas team, led by Darius Acuff, the freshman guard, is fantastic. They're probably going to be a 5 or 6 seed, so a little bit less of a sleeper, but I think these guys are the team to watch out for in March, and I think they're going to give everybody they play a run for their money.
The one question and concern I have for this team is they're very young. Malik Thomas, another player from
both
Pittsburgh,
freshmen,
Pennsylvania,
yeah.
both freshmen. They don't have a ton of they have a lot of freshmen they start. That's the thing. And if you're saying that you picked St. John's last year, they lost in the second round. So I'm not sure how confident I am in your Arkansas.
I had St. John's going to the championship.
That's what I mean. Should we
Four. I
take
think I had
advice
Final
from you
Four.
right here?
No, you shouldn't.
No.
You should not.
I do agree with Arkansas, though. I think they're especially a Cuff. He might be one of the best players in the nation. Definitely a top 20 pick, probably top 10 this year with how they've always been playing.
Yeah, the way they played this year is really good. I mean, I think it shows. Calipari's a great coach. He's been good in March.
The flaw about Arkansas, though, is they have a 7-man rotation right now deep into the season, and that's going to pose problems. And you saw it in that Alabama game.
Yeah.
They fouled out 4 players, and they were playing freshmen and sophomores that had no playing time at all.
And when you when you get a hold of a good defense in the tournament, they're gonna hone in on players like Cuff and Thomas and Trevor Brazile. So they're gonna have to rely on other options in which those options don't have experience. But
I know I don't disagree with you guys at all. I think experience is huge in the tournament, and they don't really have that. Yeah. So I'm obviously worried, just like I was worried when Cooper Flagg touched the ball last year in the in the semifinal and missed his shot. Yeah, but
they're a good team.
They're a good team. They're just young, and it's always people. Sometimes the younger players are more likely to choke. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Let's move on though to blind rank some stadium food.
Yeah. See what we get here. This is gonna be
in
fun.
the spirit of the season, let's blind rank some of the stadium foods from across the world.
All
Let's
right,
go.
first one.
That's from Philadelphia.
From Philly.
What's on there?
Looks like we got some French fried onions, some bacon.
It's the Schwarber burger.
Oh, it says it right there. There you go.
Schwarber.
Schwarber.
See,
I've never had it.
No, that looks pretty.
I've
That
never
looks
had
pretty
it. It
fire.
looks pretty decent. I feel like we put it around the middle of the pack, like
3 or
3.
2. 3 or 3. Yeah.
Dude, that looks. I would eat that right now.
Yeah.
If I was
That's a juicy
So do you wanna do
burger. I would
two?
put it at-
I'm low-key two or
I was
three.
fine with
two.
two.
One right
I'm fine with
now.
two.
Yeah,
I'm fine with
we
two.
can do two.
Like that's good.
Looks decent, yeah.
Oh
Oh my
what?
gosh! What?
no, 5.
What
yeah,
is
five.
this?
I don't
Where
even
is
wanna
this?
look
That
Where
is-
is this
yeah,
served?
This
five.
might
Where's
be
the
this
creatine?
is a game in Britain, probably. British
What?
cheesy chips.
Oh my
That-
goodness!
oh
So
my-
those are
it's like
fries,
two-
but they're steak fries.
And they're
but
two like
And then
blocks of things of cheese right over
Yeah,
top.
no,
Easy
that-
5.
that's a
wow.
five.
That's
wow.
a 5.
That
Oh
is
my
horrible.
gosh!
Photo
Not
from Reddit
American
too.
enough.
Holy,
That's
that is
terrible.
bad.
They're
Via
can't get
Reddit.
worse.
Yeah, that is bad. That's when you know it's bad.
Oh boy.
Yeah, 5.
Okay.
Oh,
This
Oreo.
feels like it's
one.
good 3. No,
Yeah.
you're an Oreo. We can't
Yeah.
put
Ooh,
that.
I don't
Is
know.
that strawberry or raspberry or
Something. I feel like we put this at
Hot
3.
sauce?
That looks.
I'm low-key. I feel like he put one bad
Well,
early on to scare us. I think the
Are there
rest
going to be
gonna
on?
good.
There going to be
3.
entrees? Are we
I think 3 or
factoring
4.
that in?
You think 3 is good?
I
for
haven't
this?
had
I think
these.
3.
I have not.
I have not. Have you had these?
No, I didn't even know they had the.
This must be new for this year. You have to
It might
try
They
be.
look pretty
Yeah.
good.
They look pretty good.
I'm
mean,
cool with 3.
I'm cool with 3. Yeah, we'll go
Okay,
three.
just
We'll
go
go
3.
snack.
I think it
Yeah,
may be
yeah,
a
we'll be
mistake,
good.
but we'll see.
All right, next one.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man,
That looks like a 1.
the boomstick burrito, just based off like the
Yeah.
preparation, right? Like you got to go into the preparation.
That's a
of this
1.
too. Even if you're not going to eat it all,
Yeah,
like that's a
That's
1.
that's a 1.
It's
Like,
okay.
it
I
would
won't
take like
eat
it would take like 6 people probably to eat
I
that,
don't-
considering how long that looks.
I would never eat it.
How-
Yeah,
do we
it's
know
a
how
1.
long that is?
I don't know.
That
looks
looks like 24 inches.
yeah, that
Looks
looks like 2
about-
feet. That looks like 2 feet. Right
Wow,
there.
that looks
That's
fantastic.
an easy
I'm
one.
cool with the 1 there. Just fingers crossed we don't get any
Yeah,
better.
that looks good.
Texas fans, y'all are
Yeah,
lucky.
that's good
The
food right
broomstick
there.
burrito.
That's sick. All right, we'll go to the next one for 4. See where our 4 is.
Okay.
That's a
Yeah,
beautiful
See,
4.
Fritos. Why
What
is the
is
photo?
that?
Yeah, what is that photo?
AT&T Stadium. Okay,
See,
so
that's Dallas as well, like that area.
it doesn't even look
What
like a.
is
The
that?
cherry on top looks very
What-
weird.
what
That
It looks like
a very
it
weird
looks like an
cherry on top.
onion with like chocolate drink.
Frito Sunday.
Fritos looks like something you get at like Long John Silver's. Honestly.
Yeah, that's a Long John Silver's
I
pool.
have never heard of this. I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
I
a really good list, guys.
Yeah, that may
That's a
be
good list.
a
That's a great
perfect
list.
score
Yeah,
there.
perfect.
Wow.
Yeah.
Um,
All right, that's
Yeah,
good
all
work,
right.
fellas.
Let's head over to the NFL Combine. The NFL Combine officially got underway today. Who are some players that can raise or lower their stock with their performances in Indy?
I mean, I think right now Jacob Rodriguez can raise his stock because right now he's a projected second-round pick, according to Mel Kiper and all these draft analysts. But, he's such a good player. He was the heart and soul of that Texas Tech team. And remember the game against Oregon. They shut down Dante Moore in that Ducks offense. Even though Oregon won the game, Oregon's offense was basically obsolete in that contest. And that's due to Jacob Rodriguez and the play of that defense as a whole, David Bailey as well. He's going to be a great player. And then shout out to Tone Diggs, Jake Golday, not Jake Gold, tremendous
Jake
linebacker,
Golday.
not Gold, Jake Golday, linebacker for Cincinnati, top 5 in every linebacker measurable from the combine right now, 6'4", 245 pounds. This is a big fella right here, freak of nature. He's going to be a great pick in the second or third round. He's going to make a lot of people look smart.
Yeah. The guy that I picked, or I have two guys actually. The first guy, I'm hoping he doesn't do well because I wanted to fall to pick 14 as a Ravens fan. But it's going to be Mekhi Lemon. I think he's the best receiver in this draft
I think he
class.
could fall to 14.
He could. He
He's
had,
good.
let's see, he had 1,156 yards and 11 touchdowns this past year. He's really speedy. He's a little bit undersized, but I think he could be better than receivers like Jordan Tyson, Cardinal Tate in Boston. I'm really high on this kid, and I think that he could possibly fall. Another person I could see rising is Kedrick Falk. I mean, he didn't have the best year. He only had 2 sacks, but obviously he's got a really good build. He's got what it takes to be an edge rusher in the NFL. And I think if he had a good performance at the combine, he could go above people like Howell and Bailey.
Yeah, you were shaking your head at that Lemon thing.
I was, because I'm a big Cardinal Tate enthusiast.
okay.
I know there's some skepticism around him.
Tate's
but
going top 10.
He's going top 10.
Really think he's a good player.
NFL GMs are seeing how good Ohio State.
I mean, yeah.
wide
I
receivers
think he's
are.
going to the
Him-
Saints personally. I
him and
feel like they like
Jeremiah
the Ohio
Love really
State.
well.
If he goes to the
Could go
Saints, that is
earlier.
going to be a very good.
I mean, they like
team.
taking the Ohio. They took Chris Olave.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that worked out. So I want to try.
Shout out to KC Concepcion too.
Yeah,
He's gonna be
the
bad.
prospect I'm looking at right now is cornerback Jermod McCoy. He was injured all last season for Tennessee, had a great sophomore season in Knoxville, but obviously that injury brought his junior season to an end very, very early, and he'll have a lot to prove in his measurables and what he puts in these off-season workouts for NFL GMs, because he is arguably the corner one in this draft.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's a really good pick. There's a lot of really good defensive players in this draft overall, but one player I have on my notes whispers Drew Aller. So I'm going to talk about Drew Aller, and I think if a team develops him, he can really turn into a Pro Bowl quarterback in this league. I think he is a really solid quarterback overall. He's done a lot of good things in college. His measurables, though, I think are what give him an edge. He's 6'5", 230, 240. He's a tremendous player from the pocket. He is going to be a special player in the NFL if he goes to a team like the Rams, like let's say like a team, not like the Niners, but like a good offensive-minded team. You know what I mean? Like he's not going to San Francisco.
Yeah, no.
But if he goes like the Rams or a good offensive system, I
agree.
think Drew could really shine.
I mean, I'm going to say this. He obviously has a Josh Allen like build almost. He's that
does.
tall.
He
He's
does.
that weight. He's got the arm. When he came to Penn State, he was a top prospect, and James Franklin doesn't have a
Yeah.
track record of
No,
developing
he doesn't.
quarterbacks.
He
It wasn't
doesn't.
his fault.
I
He was
agree.
put under possibly one of the worst systems you could be in a Big Five school.
If you
You
really
talk
think
about-
about it, we judge a lot of Drew Aller on 2 throws. Notre Dame and Oregon. We judge a lot of what we see on 2 throws. His tape this year was bad. His tape this year was not good. His tape last year was really good. That's the thing. Like he had a bad year this year, got hurt halfway through. I think, teams are going to take that film and run with it.
You can't not look at the senior tape, though.
I agree. You
I mean,
can't
it was
not
also
look at it.
it was a down season for
He
the whole
was a
team.
projected first-round pick, one of the top QB prospects in the draft in the preseason,
Yeah.
and he absolutely disappointed. I know
I
Penn
agree.
State as a whole disappointed, but it was led by Drew Aller in that offense.
He has something to say.
I got one thing to say before we move on, and it's don't draft Drew Aller. NFL teams, don't draft him. I am so sorry. I go to Penn State, and I love Penn State football, and I'm sorry to say this to Drew Aller, but you're not that guy. I'm sorry. Don't draft him. He's not going to be good. And if he is, I will formally apologize to everybody who's here.
I will-
hearing me make this comment today. But no.
I'll call it right now. He goes to the LA Rams, develops for 2 or 3 years on the bench behind Stafford, takes over, Pro Bowl quarterback. Take it to the books right now, in my opinion.
Oh, boy.
Pro
New
Bowl,
York Jets.
future Pro Bowl quarterback for the LA Rams, Drew Aller.
Alrighty. Let's I guess we're almost out of time here. The last thing I wanted to talk about in the frenzy thing was just the NBA. You know, moving towards the playoffs, and RIP my Sixers. They're not looking too great. I mean, I think they got some good talent, but obviously with Jared McCain
You
leaving,
could use a
it's so
guy like
sad.
McCain.
But
He could use a
yeah,
guy like Jared
Jared
McCain, yeah.
You guys got any thoughts before we?
I mean, the Pistons are good right now.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be one of the strong teams.
I mean,
in the
yeah,
playoffs.
I want to highlight the Pistons did beat the Thunder last night, but the
Yeah.
Thunder were also
Yeah,
without
they're without
SGA, J-Dub,
Yeah.
Isaiah Hartenstein,
Yeah,
Caruso,
they're without
AJ
everybody.
Mitchell. So I kind of take that loss with a grain of salt. I think the Thunder
Yeah.
are still the best team in the West to beat Pistons. Obviously, I think they run the East. I don't know who would be Celtics, maybe.
Yeah,
to
Celtics
beat
are
them.
pretty
They
good,
do have the
maybe.
experience over them,
Yeah.
and if they get Tatum back,
I want to shift back to the NFL and go to my 49ers. 49ers, if you release Trent Williams, RIP Brock Purdy, you're putting him up for failure next season. What are you doing with that protection? Trent Williams, if he gets released, I mean, that is a big mistake.
Yeah.
I know the money. I know how business works in the NFL, but the 49ers offensive line cannot lose a guy like Trent
Yeah.
Williams at this point
I mean,
Yeah.
in their process.
he is climbing in age though. That's the only thing. How old is he now? Like 30?
Old.
He's
he's
been
old.
there since the Richard Sherman days.
He's
so-
great, though. He's old,
Yeah.
but he's good.
All right. That's all the time we got for today. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. From your host, Ryan Chuba, joined by Owen Dashko, Justina Ricchini, and Chase Brosen. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time on 360 Sports.